Almost 36 inches across. You know, nowadays pine trees are only about like this when they harvest them. There's another one. It's not as big. I'll come back and come on around again. See, that one's not as big, but it's still bigger than the average growth pine tree today at almost 24 inches across. So what's happening right now, we're seeing a huge amount of growth ever since our town won honors as being the best small town in America. We're losing it. We're losing our small town to construction. And circumstance has it that the governing powers make it easier for a developer to come in and pick an area that's been agricultural. And most of the land that's being developed right now, you know, this part of the town traces its history back to the starting of the land when it was all orange groves. And so this property that we're walking alongside right now, just off to the side of the tracks here, this property hasn't seen orange groves in scores of years. You know, I'm betting that the last time they saw orange trees here was probably in the 1960s or the 1970s. But they basically cut down all the trees. That's how they do developing around here. They come in, take all the trees out, and then they change the topography. They'll raise this piece of property up, and the people living around here that aren't in that development end up getting flooded. That's a serious problem going on right now with a lot of developments that have been built in the last 10 years or so. You know, they come along and they dig a retention pond for their project, and then they run the drain off into somebody else's yard outside their development. And while their residents in their little private little community are high and dry, everybody else is low and soaked. And so I heard that recently, a few weeks ago, there was a meeting, and it saw record numbers of residents. It was a standing room only situation. Interesting footnote that this whole part of the land that's being developed right now is all along where the railroad is, and all these projects have a catchy name: Pelham Place, Pelham Landing. And Pelham's a railroad term. I'm not exactly sure what the word is, but what comes to mind is a 1970s movie, and they did a remake of the movie. Take them with Pelham 123. So on this side of the railroad tracks, back in that wooded area right there, I was told used to be some warehouses that the railroad used to stockpile some kind of supplies. And you know, I would have expected, and I did about a year ago, just right there in that little tree line somewhere along here, I found a couple broken blue insulators. But, you know, I had expected there'd be a lot more than just an occasional broken one or two. And it's one of the reasons I'm out walking today. Hopefully, maybe laying down in the swale down here, irrigation ditch, I may find an insulator. At least that's the hopes anyway. So some buddies that are going to be moving into this project probably beginning of next year, the way they're punching these houses out, they're going to be have train tracks in their backyard. And, well, it's not a bad thing. This particular rail only sees occasional freight, really not much anything else. Plastic. So this is just a freight rail. Goes just the other side of the truck route, about 1.5 miles from here maybe, where it drops off a bunch of containers for a company that distributes those little plastic microspheres that they use for injection mold plastics. So there's a curve in the rail line here, and it looks like the development is starting to hook a little bit away from the rail. Check out these ants and how much of a hill they built up, and then all the organic they pile up outside their circle here. Yeah, actually looks like like the project's gonna parallel the tracks pretty uniformly. And it's like literally right there. I smell very strong, pungent aroma in the air. Something's blooming. So look at this. There's a property line here between both sides of the project, and so this must be for another project. It's a possibility. Yeah, this is probably going to be another development. This tree's been felled a long time. Imagine what it's going to be like with these people living across the tracks. Some of those people have been living there for 60, 80 years, and aside from an occasional train and traffic driving by on the road up front, they had all this privacy, and it's all going to go away. Nice live oak right here. Look at the size of that baby. Okay. So that's 4. 8 feet of crust. And the trouble when they start building these projects, they might save this tree, but in cutting down everything around here, the tree's gonna lose its shade and all, and it's gonna die. This looks like a marker. Oh, look, there's a whole pile of brick debris here. Sometimes this stuff ends up from like the other side of the tracks. People walk it over into the woods and dump their crapola here, which I'm guessing is probably where this came from. Let's go back here and take a look. Like, look at this old bench. I mean, this bench is ancient. Look, it's got twist. It's way old. Way old. Look how it's made. Get my hand behind it so you can see the wrapping. The stick out of the way too. That's some ancient stuff there. So it's like 18 inch maybe, or 20 inch tall. Old bench. Broken. In case you're just joining us, this is your Florida History Hunter, and we are paralleling the railroad tracks west of Old New York, in an area that's seeing an insane amount of construction. Slowly taking down all the old wooded areas, the agricultural areas, and it's being replaced with homes. Uh-oh. The rain coming. So here's another property mark for another project. Right there. That's another phase. I know one of the phases is going to be 647 homes. And that's the smallest. Yeah, dang it. A little bit of rain. Part of a car or a truck. More of it right there. It looks like Volkswagen orange, but the rocker panel cover's too big for that. It's got that sucker wrapped around it too. Looks like a rim. What's that? Bumper guard. Yeah, it's in an old car. But the front end of a old car. Big serious piece of cable right there. Another piece of a bumper. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is a... Oh, it's broken. It's an ACL. Mountain Dew ACL. Kind of old seat, like a step van. Got a nice pipe. It's like sprinkler and well action. There's old galvanized roofing. All red brick. Another one of those really old pine trees just going to waste. And this one's a like 22 inches in diameter. And they just pushed it over. Such a waste. And I guess like they're not even going to haul it out for lumber. They'll probably just push it through the grinder. Well, that's the main highway, and then the property cuts west up to Grand Avenue, and I'm not going to walk into that, I don't think. Possibly. Like it goes around and then they got a clearing set up. Alright folks, we're gonna 180 and start heading back. In case you're just joining us, this is your Florida History Hunter. And we're in the west part of the land, walking the last of the old orange grove properties. Most of them have just, that you can see, or you can't even see orange trees anymore out there. A lot of them were planted back in the 80s with the pine trees, in 1990s with pine trees to be harvested for lumber, and they never really got around to harvesting these. So property's been sitting delinquent, and people paying taxes on them, yes. And so the developers have come in and they're slowly changing all the agricultural properties into PUDs, planned urban development, or acronym something thereof. Less locally grown fruits and vegetables, and more dependent on foreign. So another thing about this pine tree we just looked at, that's an old growth pine, 24 inches in diameter. And if we take a look at the needles on this pine, you can see that they're very long. And this particular tree is known as a long leaf pine. You know, and it's a couple of these out there are going to say, wait a minute, pine trees and conifers don't have leaves, they've got needles. which you are correct, but it is still called a long leaf pine on the account that the needles are gigantic. I mean, normally pine needles are about that long, and these are, you know, they're like 10 inches, 12 inches, and they make for interesting materials for weaving. Indians and the pioneers used to weave things out of pine needles. So I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we're going to shut the camera down before we get an overheat. The notorious GoPro, oh no, it shut off. And then we're like, is the battery? No, it's not the battery. It got hot. So if you have an opportunity, click that like button right there, if you would. So this is kind of cool. So look at this old drill. This old drill point right here. How cool is that? How cool is that? Gotta get a picture of that for a buddy of mine. So, as I was saying, thank everybody for joining us. You're a Florida History Hunter. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, take a quick moment out of your time and subscribe to our channel. And click that like button. Thanks for watching. You guys and all the ladies have a great day, a fantastic night, and a most wonderful tomorrow. Thanks for watching. How do we want to do this? This will go around. So around we're going, and look, fresh burrow. So there's still an active, very active gopher tortoise community in these woods. So this is all orange groves, and I'm noticing also that there's fern. So there may have been a house here. At one time. Maybe up in there. And of course you can see the planted pine trees. There's some more midden right there. So for some reason they brought Phil in somewhere around here. Seems to be more shell right here, more midden. Out into here. And up in here also. Let's see midden. It goes up into there. I'm baffled as to why there's midden. I mean, it was brought in exclusively as fill. But what the heck were they filling? I don't see any out there. Maybe they just used it as a road. There's some nasty funky smell. And it's not the fruit either. An old piece of fencing. There's some heavy duty stuff there. I wonder if this is the stuff that came from train rail. I heard they used to make fencing out of train rail. Okay, so up here, I don't see any fill. No midden. That's only behind us. Right through here it starts. And you got all midden through here. That's all midden. Well, I guess you don't call it midden if it's not on the mound anymore where it was originally laid. But technically it's still midden. It's getting bloody hot. Okay, if you're just joining us, you're Florida History Hunter. Take a moment to click that like button down there, subscribe to our channel. And we're out hiking west of land, checking out the last of these wooded areas before the trees are felled and they plant itty bitty little houses everywhere. Right, so let's check something out here. Right here, you see that? Yeah, that right there, there we go. You see that? That leaf kind of looks like a butterfly. And then the flowers are kind of a purpley pink with a beautiful stem and pestle inside. There's some leaf right there too. There's another one right there. This is wood sorrel, and you can take this stuff, and if you squeeze the end of it and you taste that, it tastes like lemons, and you can put that on your salad. Put that on your salad. You can put those leaves on your salad. It'd be really colorful. It's got a unique kind of tart, lemony, alkali taste to it. You don't want to eat a lot of it, but you could get away with having it on occasion. Indians used it for to flavor a beverage, like a lemon water. So that's wood sorrel, and it's grown everywhere out here. There's some more of it right there. Some more right there. Grows real tight to the ground. Sometimes it smells like something's died, and it's just the rot from inside an old tree. This time next year, it could be a street or in somebody's yard. But I'll never have the opportunity, nor anybody else, to come out and enjoy it the way it is now. And if developers weren't so greedy, they could leave some of these pine trees anyway. None of the other ones are really worth a darn. But you know, that they'll just push it all over and plant some trees that really don't belong here. There's an old homeless encampment over there, back in there. I think they've been chased out. Pretty sure that the activities have ceased. What the hey to what? Okay. Hi, in between the trees that have been falling since the hurricane and the roads that they've pushed in pre-destruction. Makes navigating difficult. Now this was all orange groves, and then it was planted to be pine trees for harvesting for the lumber industry. But before the orange groves, it was pine trees, and they were huge. An average tree being like 20 inches. And so now those kind of trees are far and few. Somehow or another.